All right, we got a market update for you.
Yes, we do.
Episode 73, we're looking at October's numbers.
Yes.
And we're starting to see some signs of life.
It's so refreshing to see.
We might be back.
We might be back.
Tune in to find out how back we are.
Yeah.
This is a good one. We go over Joey's birthday menu.
Yeah.
All the food spots you hit up on your birthday.
All the food spots, an experience that happened at a very special diner.
Yes.
Tune in to find out which diner that is.
Yes, and the experience.
And the experience that was.
Knees touched. That's all we're going to say on that. I think this episode, we bring a lot of the boom. We bring the boom in this episode. There's a lot of references to Instagram-worthy influencers.
Yeah.
And we have a little bit of fun unpacking the numbers.
Love it.
All right.
Enjoy.
Welcome to the Toronto Livings Podcast, a conversation about all things Toronto with a focus on real estate, the culture, and of course, the food.
I'm Mark Savel.
And I'm Joey Virgilio.
And we're realtors with Sage Real Estate working together as a Toronto Livings team with a focus on helping you buy better, sell higher, and of course, having a little bit of fun along the way. Mr. Joey.
Mr. Mark.
How's it going?
It's going good. We're actually, it's going better than I thought it was.
It is.
When we're talking about this week's episode.
I like how you tied that in there. Yes.
We're getting into market stats this week.
We are. We're going to look at the spooky month of October.
Yeah.
You thought the Halloween vibes were done. We're just getting started. Yeah. But as you alluded to, it's actually a really good month.
It was, I was pleasantly surprised. Can I say surprised? I don't know, because I've also been feeling it a little bit out there.
I get where you come from. Like, you kind of weren't surprised because you saw surprising effects in your day-to-day life. I see that.
No, but we're getting into, October, and I think you're going to be happy about this one. I think the audience is going to be happy about this one.
We're definitely seeing signs of life. There's a lot of indicators that are starting to get us excited again about talking about the market.
Yes.
We almost had a record-breaking month for detached homes.
Right.
Yep. 33% jump in transactions.
Yes, which is... That's a huge number.
It's a huge jump.
Yeah.
There's even some good news for condos. What the heck?
I don't know, man. Yeah, it's everybody had some good news.
Are we back?
I think we might be back.
We're back. We're also going to recap Joey's birthday week.
Yeah.
It's quite the week we had.
The week that was, yeah.
It's pretty cool. Let's start as we always do. Actually, before we start, as we always do, before I ask you how was your week and how did you eat, I would like to thank everyone who's responded to our call to action.
Yes.
We have been trying to get people to leave comments, subscribe, and give us a 5-star review.
Yep.
And it's working.
The algorithm is approving.
It's approving. We're not taking off like the Tesla stock did this week. But we are starting to see some growth, and that's amazing. And so if you haven't yet, if you could subscribe, leave a comment. I don't care how dumb the comment is.
Yeah.
Just leave a comment.
Yes.
The algorithm likes comments. Smart comments, dumb comments, just leave a comment.
Yes, I like that.
Yeah. So thank you to everyone who helped us this far. And for those who haven't, the heck you waiting for?
Yeah. Listen, it's never too late.
It's never too late.
You can also, if you've done it already once, do it again. Keep doing it.
I feel like it would be good for the call-in charities. Remember those back in the 90s? They don't do those anymore, those telephones.
Oh, the telephone people? Yeah. We should have somebody in the back of our episodes.
Like they're busy typing away. We got another donor. We got another listener. Your support is what we're looking for.
Yes, absolutely. It is always much appreciated.
Yeah. So unless you want us to start doing really annoying ads for companies that we probably will never use, like and support us so we don't have to do that. What would be your dream ad that you'd want to have sponsor us?
If Psychotic Michael ever had an ad, that's what I'd like to see.
Is it Super Kicked Wrestling?
Super Kicked.
Yeah. Today's episode is sponsored by Psychotic Michael and Super Kick Wrestling. You're feeling down? Check out Psycho Michael as he lays a smackdown on fellow wrestlers. Super Kicked. Yes. The logo? I like that. Oh, God. Before we lose control of this episode, Joey, how was your week? Where the heck did you eat?
It was birthday week this week. So it was of my choosing this week. So actually a couple things happened on the day of the birthday.
Yes.
And actually we kicked off pretty strong.
I got a whole segment on that, but take it away, brother.
Yeah. So Mark decided to venture into my neck of the woods.
And I will never do that again. Oh my God.
And we took a trip and a stroll down to Mars Diner.
Definitely did.
It is still such classic diner food.
Yeah.
It's heavy, but it's good.
It's satisfying.
Yeah.
It was, I'm not going to say too much now. I'm going to save it for my segment.
Okay.
But so we had this insanely good breakfast to start a day. And then where'd you go after that?
So had to eat in the morning. I got warned by Molly C that
Yes.
I am not allowed to eat too much either because we had dinner plans.
Yes.
Sugo was the dinner plans.
Amazing.
So we went down to Sugo. I was like, listen, I've heard the pizza at Bar Sugo is really good. So let's 100% go to Bar Sugo. So we put our names in. We go down there, we put our names in, and then we get a drink. And she's like, are you sure you want Bar Sugo out of the two? Because one has, just a heads up, one has chicken sandwiches, one has pizza. They both don't have both.
Right.
So halfway through the first beer, I was like, yep, I think let's just go to the chicken sandwich place. So we ended up getting there, and I tried their new, it's like a vodka.
Penne alla vodka sauce. Yeah.
It's a rosé chicken sandwich is what they called it. Breaded chicken breast, rosé, mozzarella, pecorini, basil, and on the sesame seed bun that it is. The first bite I took, if I have any suggestions, chop up the basil. Okay. I took the first bite I took the whole piece of basil in with it.
Love it.
And then as soon as that finished, I just enjoyed the ever living.
Okay.
Yeah. So shout out Sugo, because man, that I could eat like 3 of those things. And I did not feel good afterwards. Also, I finished Molly's dinner. She had a couple bites of her eggplant parm and I just polished it.
I love it. Was there a Caesar salad?
There was also
like
a Caesar salad. Yes.
Okay.
They make an incredible Caesar salad and it pairs really nicely because you have all this rich, the tomato sauce and the cheese and the heaviness. And then you have this like the bright Caesar salad with the lemon. What a cleanser. Yeah.
Oh.
100%.
Ooh, my palate's definitely piqued my interest after that description.
Yeah. Big fan of Sugo. Keep doing what you're doing, Sugo.
Love it.
Yeah.
Was there an after party?
Of course there was. Yeah.
Of course
there was. Yeah.
Joey's
So we went from Sugo, yes, to we went to Comedy Bar. So Comedy Bar was our second. We watched that. So whose line is it anyway? Did you used to watch that when younger at some point?
Is Wayne Brady in it?
Yes. So that crew, it's an improv show.
Yeah.
It's an improv game show. I always enjoyed it when I was a kid and like growing up. It's still just as funny. So anyways, they do an improv show in that Comedy Bar. It's held by this group called Nice Time. They have like a rotating cast of people. They talk with the audience for like 5 minutes and then they just do an hour-long show of like everything that you talked about. And they're so good. It's so worth it. They do it on Wednesdays. So it kind of worked out perfectly.
Did you get picked on?
No, didn't get picked on.
Okay.
It's an initial conversation, and then they just do their thing. Yeah.
Love it.
Yeah. So awesome time. Shout out comedy. Shout out Nice Time, and shout out Improv. If you guys are a fan of it, it's such a unique show to watch, and like so entertaining because it's people coming up with stuff at the top of their head. So it's so damn entertaining.
Yeah, I think I want to there should be more comedy shows. I want to go to more comedy shows. Like you always have a good vibe when you come out of there.
Yes. Yeah.
And especially like the amateurs, the ones that haven't made it yet. You're just like, man, that guy was really clever.
Yeah, there's something so sketch comedy, like things along those lines, like the Second City
lineup
circuit. Yeah, like all that stuff is it's so entertaining and like it's such a unique. There's a lot of stand up, but like those types of shows are like they're unique. So like when you find them, it's so worth it.
Yeah. And Comedy Bar is that one's 945 Bloor Street.
945 Bloor Street.
Downstairs.
So it's a 10-minute walk. Yeah. And 17-minute walk, but
with all that Sugo in you.
It worked out for the best.
That basil leaf really just set you back. Eh? Oh my God. All right. Well,
so tell me your side.
I also had a memorable November 6th.
Yeah.
I think that was the first time in my life I consumed 5,000 plus calories.
Yeah.
And I couldn't have done it without you. Man, like you think you know what life's about, then you start with a breakfast with Joey and you really discover what life's about. We started this day off going to the world famous Mars Diner.
Yes.
And you had talked about it on the show so many times and I couldn't think of a better place to take you to, so we went there.
Yep.
It delivered. It delivered on all levels. It is your classic 1950s diner vibe. We sat, us large individuals, in a very tight booth.
One of the biggest, by the way.
Which scares me because our knees were definitely cuddling.
Absolutely.
I'm like, Joey, I could feel your knees. You're like, this is the spacious booth. But through and through, it delivered. It's so authentic. It's got the plushy red comfy chairs and all that. The menu. Can we talk about the menu for a second?
Yes.
I don't know how this was not mentioned before, but it is the most creatively named menu I've ever come across.
There's a pun on every single item.
Every single item is a double entendre. What stuck out for me was the Connor Egger.
Yep.
Didn't order that, but I was highly tempted to based on the name. There was the, what was it? Existential egg menu.
Yes.
Which I thought was excellent.
Yes.
But in the end, I took your advice and I got the chicken clubhouse with the house potatoes.
Yes.
Very good call. House potatoes, I wasn't really sure what I was getting. I thought I was going to get like the fingerlings
Yep.
style, but it was more like a literally potato mashed up.
Yep.
Throw some ketchup on it. And it was just lights out good.
They do it right. And those pair, when you do it with eggs, when you do like a proper breakfast sandwich or breakfast period, it's, I don't know. They pair very well.
I will come back for the Grand Slam because the Joey suggestion was get the Grand Slam.
Definitely.
I wasn't feeling confident in my ability to finish a Grand Slam, and I wanted to impress you on your birthday. So I knew the clubhouse I could take down.
There was at least 2 or 3 points during the middle of the club sandwich where you were like, oh God, I don't know if I can do this.
I was scaling Everest and I was on like base 1. I'm like, this is a long climb up. But I'll tell you what helped me: my gauntlet of apple juice that they served me.
Yes.
I'm a spoiler or like fun fact. I'm a big fan of apple juice.
Yep.
I love apple juice. Allen's is my apple juice of choice. And when I got this gauntlet of apple juice, I was like, this is going to be a great meal. So I smashed that.
Yep.
And it was so much that I didn't even need to have lunch. And I just went straight to like dinner time and I was still full.
Yep. That makes sense.
Did you have lunch that day?
No, I did also. I was
restrained.
There was a there was a threat on me that I had to abide by.
Stay within the limit. So yeah, it was like 6 o'clock. And I'm like, man, I didn't even have lunch yet. And so me and Adrienne asked how to do a Costco run.
Yep.
So we went out to Costco. The one at Rexdale is really good. They've got a gas station there, and gas is usually like 20 cents cheaper a liter.
Right. Yes.
Big fan of Costco gas stations.
Yes,
so
1,000,000%. Yeah.
That's a pro tip I'm going to throw in there. And I don't know if this has been going on in your algorithm, but have you been seeing the boom?
Oh yes. 100%.
Big Justice and AJ?
Big Justice and AJ have been dominating my TikToks for I don't even know how long at this point.
They're the father-son duo. Yeah. I did more research than I should have on them. The father's actually an ex-wrestler on like the amateur circuit.
Yep.
His son AJ is going to be a tank when he's older. I'm also obsessed with the Rizzler.
Yeah. Recently on Jimmy Fallon, by the way.
Yeah.
I've been seeing that they've got so popular that they made it to an actual talk show, which is insanity to me.
Yeah. These are Costco guys just taking off on the virality of life. Whatever that word is I was trying to say there. But they've got this double chocolate chunk cookie.
Double chunk chocolate cookie.
Yeah. Double chocolate cookie. And like, it's so ingrained in my head. I went to Costco and I'm like, we need to try this.
100%.
Have you had one?
Absolutely.
Oh my God.
And because of this video.
Because of the video.
Yeah.
Boom.
How many booms?
Boom, boom. So Age didn't know the context of this act. I'm like, we got to try it. And she's like, it's like 750 calories. I'm like, we got to split it. So she permission granted. She let me have one and we did split it. I probably had like 2/3 of it. My God, was it ever good?
It's actually so good.
It's so good.
It's like fresh. It's warm, but it's got like a good crisp to it. It's 100%. It's delicious.
So like the outer edges are just the right amounts of crisp, but the center is ooey gooey.
Oh, so good.
Chocolatey goodness.
Yeah. They kill it. The double chunk chocolate cookie.
Double chocolate cookie. Boom.
Their rating system is if they don't like something, they give it only one boom.
Oh, it's a doom.
Oh, it's a doom.
It's
so
a doom.
If they really don't like something, it's a doom.
It's a doom.
Have I seen a doom? Not really. I haven't really think I've seen one.
Yeah, no.
But they can go up to 5 big booms. They just start doing it.
So I started doing it at Costco and Age is like, are you okay? Did the sugar, like, is it doing this? I'm like, boom, 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 boom. So 5 booms out of 5 for me.
Yeah.
If you're a Costco member, you must try the double chocolate chunk cookie.
Double chunk
Chocolate cookie. 750 calories. So that probably put me at my day at about, I would say probably over 3,000 calories between your breakfast and that cookie. But wait, I was like so buzzing off the sugar. I'm like, man, we should have dinner now. And she's like, okay. So we went to this place called Casa Português.
Okay.
You know, I love me a good Portuguese dinner. Mm. It's right up by us, 180 Bentworth. So it's like Caledonia, north of Lawrence.
Yep.
And we tried the traditional chicken. I love I think it's called sharushkera.
Oh, is that how they?
That's how I say it. Okay. So they were closing. We had to take it to go. I'm like, give me a half chicken, Parisian potatoes, rice. Like that's my go-to for Portuguese chicken.
Yeah.
Dude, the bag they gave me was a brick. Age lifted it. She's like, this is 15 pounds of food. And I'm like, yes. So I went home and I'm like, there's no way I'm going to complete this after the Joey's breakfast, the double chocolate chunk, the booming, like this just polished it. It was so good.
Nice.
There's something they put this sauce over it. They have like this brush of magic and like I highly suggest it.
So it was Portuguese chicken, like a chicken thigh or something along those lines?
I went for the whole half chicken.
Okay.
So I got the breast and the thigh.
Breast and thigh.
Yeah.
Rice.
Parisian potatoes,
Parisian
the rice.
potatoes. Yeah.
And the rice is like this nice thick rice. It's not the puny, ration type rice. This had substance. Oh my God. Even the piri piri sauce they had was not that like annoyingly hot one.
It just like adds like good flavor to it.
Massive flavor town.
Yeah.
Boom. I don't know if you know this. This might be a really small tangent that very few people will know, but the Rizzler, his first claim to fame was being the Black Panther.
Yes.
You know this?
I do know this.
I didn't.
Yes.
And I was obsessed with this Black Panther video where it's basically this chubby little kid saying that he's the Black Panther and getting so aggressive to his dad. And then someone's like, he's the Rizzler. I'm like, get out of town. So for those 18-year-old audience members that we have, thank you for tuning in. And we are big fans of the Rizzler and big fans of...
Big Justice.
I don't know if I like them, to be honest with you, but I do love their food reviews.
The booms.
Yeah, I don't know. Something about them. Like,
There's a weirdness about the interactions.
I sense a Netflix documentary coming about them.
I so see this. I so see this in their future.
What would the title be of that? It would be like The Bang Behind the Boom.
Yes.
The untold story of Big Justice.
So much. That's either the greatest dad in the entire world or there's something odd happening in the background.
Agreed. Either he's like the most loving father or like something, there's a dark side to him. Hopefully not, because they seem like a nice family.
Yeah.
Well, that was a lot of food.
That was a lot of food.
Yeah. Should we get in some news you can use?
I think so.
This is the Caesar salad to the how's your week?
This is the palate cleanser.
Yes, the palate cleanser is actually not that digestible.
No, we're gonna do this again.
Yes, people of the internet, we are gonna come back with like a 3-month campaign of reminding you to
declare your vacant home tax.
Do the damn thing, please.
Yes.
Fill it out, get it done. Last year was a debacle. We were fighters of...
Yeah, we were the biggest advocates and promotional piece of that campaign.
Yeah, still haven't received a cent from the city for our civil duty, but you know what? That's all right. But it's that time again. They've revamped the system.
Yeah.
They've opened up the portal.
Yeah.
The vacant tax portal is now open. So if you're the Black Panther, you can enter it and give the city a boom. No, all jokes aside, the declaration portal is open. You can log on today and let the city know that your home was not vacant for the year that was.
Exactly.
And just to kind of get into the nitty-gritty details, you only have to declare it vacant if for 6 months or longer your home was vacant.
Yeah.
So if you're there for 6 months and a day, your home was not considered vacant in the eyes of the city. There is a few other elements, such as if there was a death, if there's work being done on the home. All that information is on the city's website, which we'll have a link to below, and to the portal of the vacant home tax.
Yes, regardless if it was or if it wasn't, get to that portal and declare whatever it was.
Yes. And I don't care if you did it last year. You're going to have to do it this year again.
Yes.
And you're going to have to do it next year. And you're going to have to do it every year after.
Moving forward, this is a part of our system.
Yes. This is one of the perks of living in Toronto.
What we can do also is link to a YouTube video. If you wanted to just dive deeper into, like, if you're having questions about if you just purchased something, or if you, I don't know, just if you have more questions about it and you want like the deep dive, if you want to see this beautiful face and a close-up talking head video.
Yeah.
We'll put that in the show notes.
Joey did a damn good video and answered everything you'd want to know about that.
Yeah.
I think I'm going to do a revised blog post as well. Let's just get that campaign going.
Campaign's going. Yeah.
Yeah. And if you're a client of us, you will definitely be getting an email from us in the next 7 days.
It will be a personal, yes, absolutely.
Yes. Because we do not want a single person to get caught up in the debacle that was.
Yeah.
And just one pro tip on that. When you do that, please print out or save on your computer the confirmation that you've completed the process.
Keep that proof.
Yes, because one of the issues that they had last year was people followed our advice. They did what they had to do. And for whatever reason, they didn't save the confirmation and they still got notified. So there was some glitch in the system. And so just to prevent that from happening,
keep your proof.
keep your proof.
Yeah, keep your proof.
Yep. The deadline is going to be April 30th, 2025. And every week for the next 17 weeks, we'll be reminding you to do the damn thing.
That's right.
Yes.
Yeah, this will be a part of every News You Can Use segment until it's over.
Yes. Until the city gives us a cease and desist. I feel like Bob Barker. And don't forget to get your pets spayed or neutered. Remember that? Price is Right?
Yeah, I know Price is Right, but I don't that phrase. No, I do not know.
Big advocate of getting your pets sprayed or neutered. Okay. Yeah, so we're going to be big advocate of filling out your vacant home tax. Thanks for watching. Well, the show's not done.
Yeah, it's not done yet. Yeah.
It's just manifesting what Bob Barker would do if he was in Toronto on this podcast. Is he still alive or did he pass?
Oh, I think he might have passed.
Yeah, he lived a long life.
He did. Man, did he have a career and a half?
Yep.
And also had a cameo in Happy Gilmore.
He did.
Yes.
Happy Gilmore 2 is coming.
Is it?
Yeah, they're filming it.
Oh, they're doing one? Mm-hmm. I didn't know that.
Yep. He won't be in it, sadly.
Unfortunately.
I think we could say R.I.P. Bob Barker.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure we can. Yeah.
Favorite Price is Right game?
I don't know if I have a favorite.
Really?
Do you have a favorite?
2. Really?
Okay, let's hear it.
Plinko.
Plinko.
You don't remember Plinko?
No, I don't know it well enough to. The dropping ball?
Yeah, you drop a token down or a ball and it goes through and it makes that.
Got you. Yeah.
And then it determines the price you won. And I like the guess the price. So you have the mountaineer where he climbs up the mountain and there's like a yodeling, yodeling, yodeling. And then if you go over, then he falls off the mountain and you win nothing.
There's a whole documentary about this guy who watched. Just heard the last part of what you said. There's a whole documentary that was this guy who like studied every item and made like a spreadsheet of every item that was on there. Have you seen that?
No.
Yeah, and then he was on the show and he guessed everything to a T. Like he knew the prices.
Oh wow.
To a T, and made it all the way.
I definitely will be watching that this weekend.
Yes.
I definitely will be watching that weekend. Actually, speaking of really good movies to watch this weekend, The Apprentice.
Oh, let's hear it.
The Apprentice. My God, is it ever a good movie? It is.
Did you watch it?
Yes, I was able to watch it. Very topical because, as we know,
yes, some big stuff happened this week.
Yes.
What a weird birthday present that took place.
Yeah, you got a new mayor. No, you got a new president.
I woke up and immediately it was like, happy birthday, let's talk politics.
Yes. Yes, went right into the politic talk this week. This movie is about Donald Trump's rise to becoming Donald Trump and his relationship with his former lawyer, Roy Cohen.
Right.
And Roy Cohen is played by Kendall Roy from Succession. Jeremy Strong, I believe his name. Why you should watch it, one, the acting is superb. He does such a good, Roy Cohen used to be the lawyer to a lot of the New York mobsters. So I knew him from that realm of documentaries I watched quite a bit of. And then he kind of mentored Trump. And you see kind of the character building of Trump from this son looking for his father's acceptance and trying to make it in the world of New York City, and how Roy kind of gave him the, never lose. Even if you lose, you say you won. You'll fight. Like there's a lot of kind of character building that you see that Roy kind of instilled in him.
Interesting.
But the reason why this ties nicely to our podcast is it's filmed in Toronto.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, it's filmed in Toronto. So there's a lot of locations you'll notice. Victoria Street downtown is used in a lot of it. It's also filmed in Hamilton. So there's a lot of like, hey, I know that place.
Interesting.
Yeah, I love those movies when you're like,
pointing it out.
Yeah. But it's done really well. The actor who plays Donald Trump also does a really convincing job. And you kind of see him from this young, in shape guy and kind of how his ego gets a hold of him and how he treats people and how he kind of goes to the end. It's got nothing to do with the current presidential run that he's been on.
It's more of the upbringing.
Yeah. It's like an origin story.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. Really interesting. And like, whether you like Donald or hate Donald, there's subtle ways in which they help develop the character he is today. You're like, wow, okay, this is very telling. Yeah, I won't say more than that, but The Apprentice, if you can come across it, watch it. Yeah,
okay.
Really well done.
I'm putting that on the list.
Yeah, really good. It's about 2 hours long, so not too long.
You got it.
All right, let's do it.
Let's get into the main event.
Yes.
The meat and potatoes.
The main event. Remember boxing? This is the main event. Yeah, lots of tangents are going on here. We're talking about the market this week.
Yes, we are.
And it's looking like Toronto is showing signs of life.
Oh, so refreshing.
Yeah.
This was refreshing. And like, we'll get into it later. We're going to talk high picture stuff. But like when I started punching in the months of inventory, I couldn't believe it, what I was starting to see.
Just before I fell asleep last night, I was like, I'm really excited to hear Joey's month of inventory this week. I was like, I wonder where things lay, because I was so jacked up with reading into the numbers that I was like, this is going to be very interesting to see if things shifted. So
Yes.
stay tuned.
Stay tuned to the end.
Yes. I feel like spring has sprung again.
Spring has definitely sprung a second time, I guess.
Yeah, it's like the spring market's back, both outside and in the Toronto real estate market.
Yeah, it was like a delayed hit, but no, it's definitely here.
Yeah, it is. And this week, what was funny to me was like every media company who was reporting on the numbers, they kept saying that sales went up a whopping 44%. The word whopping was used way more than I think it ever should have been. And like every article I read, it was like whopping, 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 whopping. And as like an Ital Canadian, the word whop is slightly derogatory. Not that I have a problem with that. Also, as a fan of Burger King, I kept thinking of the Whopper. So what I did was a very simple copy, paste, find and replace, where every time it said whop or whopping, I replaced the article with double chunk cookie.
Double chunk chocolate cookie.
Yeah. So it would read like, the Toronto real estate market had a double chunk cookie increase of 44%, followed by boom, boom, boom. And it really made the articles that much more enjoying.
Yeah. Amplified that.
Yeah, man. It was that caloractic intake that I needed.
This must have been written and decided on right after the Costco run.
Absolutely. My mind's just been like my sugar.
The sugar rush was still in the system.
Absolutely.
It takes a while to get that 750 calories of just straight sugar into the veins.
Absolutely. It's still in me. All right, let's start high level maybe.
Yep.
Talk about October, what it was on a very high level. So we had our third busiest month when it came to transactions.
Yes.
We had 6,658 sales.
Right.
That's a huge shift than what we saw last quarter, where we were kind of like the high 4,000s, the low 5,000s. This was like, woof.
Yeah.
And it was a little bit interesting to me because it was like, isn't September usually that month of
the push?
The big push?
Yes.
And I think what happened, and this is just my kind of take on it, is a lot of these transactions started in September, but firmed up in October.
Right.
Because what we are still seeing is, although there is an uptick in activity, there's still the standard clauses of financing and home inspection.
Right.
And that usually adds a delay of, call it 5 to 7 days to a deal to close. So I think a lot of these numbers are a carryover of September.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. That makes sense.
Yeah. New listings shifted down by, I'm not going to say whopping, I'm going to say a double chunk cookie.
You've changed it every time you said it.
Every time. They're down 15%.
Yeah.
So, that's inventory being cut by about 3,000 across the city.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which is pretty significant.
I'd say so.
Yeah.
I think we're like getting into this. I mean, we're getting close. We got what I would call it three more weeks of like what you would consider this like
active market.
This active market before kind of holidays kick in and people get into that spirit of like, let's just deal with this next year.
Yeah. And I think a lot of the conversations we're having with people is, are rates going to continue to come down? Probably yes.
Yes.
So maybe we should wait until the market really kicks up in the new year. True. And I think that's why a lot of people are holding off and saying, you know what, screw it. Let's just wait. We're so close. We're a couple months away. We'll do it in the new year.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which is going to be interesting to see how much more inventory, like, is there going to be more inventory than we need in the new year?
Right.
We'll see.
I'm also very curious what happens with prices during this point, because I feel like the people that need to sell are going to stay up. And that might have that effect on what prices might look like over the December months.
Yeah.
The December month, it's always an awkward month because it's like transactions slow down and things do just like, they're just worse overall, like historically. Because it's
seasonality.
Yeah. But I am curious what that does for the people that are up there.
Yeah, I like that. Active listings were kind of on par. We're still at the 24,000 range. And that's been similar to the averages we saw for the last 3 months of Q3.
Yeah. Active listings were really interesting because they came down a little bit, but this is officially the moment where people are out buying the inventory. So anything that came up plus the existing inventory is officially trended downward. So it's now this moment of like, okay, we've outpaced it.
Okay.
So that's a telling sign, I think.
Good indicator.
Yeah.
Yeah. Average price. Now, this isn't whopping. so I can't use my double chocolate cookie. This is a single chocolate chunk cookie bump. We're up 1.5% when it comes to average price month over month.
Yeah.
Which is not huge, right? It's just a single chocolate chunk, as I alluded to. But this is where the double chunk cookie comes in. From January to October, we are up 10.5% in price. You know what that means?
What does that mean?
Boom! It brought the boom from January to October.
This is just, it's the theme of this. I love it so much.
People are either going to love this episode or absolutely hate it. But guess what? The Black Panther doesn't care because he's got a mind of his own.
Oh, love it.
But yeah, so 10.5% jump from January till today. So if you're at started the year off and you're like, you know what, this market's going to tank. I'm going to buy in fall when prices are down. You're wrong. You're dead wrong.
Something else I want to point out too on the big picture side of things is that this is also the second consecutive month of a price increase. So again, we're kind of in that indication of like, all right, let's see what's happening here.
Yep.
Yeah, nice, a nice refresher.
Our trend antennas are starting to peak up a little.
Yeah.
Like, is this something? Is something happening? And I think that's a good overview of the entire month. Is that like, no, this was not the big catalyst. We're like, we're back, baby. Get ready. But these are showing signs of life, and this is really good for good indicators to what I think next year will bring.
Yep. Totally agree with that.
And then kind of to tie that together, our days in market are still at 43.
Right.
So they've essentially not changed. We'd love to see that down between the 20 to 30 days on market. That's a good indicator that the market's picked up.
Yep.
And that's an interesting kind of data point for the month of October, because I did think that was going to trend down.
Right.
And it didn't.
So, I mean, does that lead, I mean, again, we're talking averages, but does that lead our brains to think that like a lot of the existing inventory that got sold as opposed to the new inventory that hit? So likely that's what's balancing it out.
From personal experience, the two listings that I had, I've had them up for a long time. Mm-hmm. One, we're talking 9 months.
Yep.
And the other one up for about 3-4 months, both sold in October.
Right.
So that's very telling of activities happening, but it's a cleanup of some of the existing inventory that's been up for quite some time.
Absolutely. And I'll tell you, like firsthand, boots on the ground, a lot of my experiences with the last couple purchases that took place were always, let's wait a bit. Mm-hmm. They just hit the market. Let's give them a second, and waited the time out before making moves.
And got fantastic prices for our buyers.
That's right.
Kudos to you. You know what I'm going to give you?
Let's hear it.
Boom! No, I love it. I love it because we talk about it, and then when we practice what we preach and it comes to fruition, it's just the lovely cycle of like, yeah, we're dialed in. We see what's happening. We know how to approach this market in a way that benefits our buyers. And when I actually see you bring it to fruition, it gives me that warm double chocolate cookie feeling. Costco, if you want to sponsor us, we're available.
100%. I used to work at Costco. Okay, I'm a Costco for life.
Yeah. Did you have the member since tag?
Absolutely.
Did you still have it?
Somewhere.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't think I would have thrown that out.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I always I look at them like, wow, 5 years, eh?
Yeah. No, they go long. It's like they keep you there a long time. Yeah. There was people there for 10 years plus when I was there.
I listened to a 3-hour podcast on the business model of Costco.
Yep.
And it is mind-blowingly fantastic.
I believe it.
The perks, the benefits, the system, the model. I always had this feeling that Costco like jerks around the people that are desperate in terms of like the suppliers of people. But no, that's not the case. They're very selective with the products they buy. And there's this like really deep thought process that goes into what ends up on the shelves.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. That doesn't surprise me.
Yeah.
That doesn't surprise me at all. He's the whole idea and the concept of it, like to begin with, was genius.
Yeah.
And like, yeah, it's crazy what it does. And I remember working those cash registers and seeing they have the suction tubes, like at the future, like Futurama, like they would just the amount every 2 seconds you see one of the 15, 16 just
gone. Amazing.
Yeah.
I was at the new Rexdale location, and that's what exactly caught my eye, how big these tubes are now to transport the funds and everything. Although I imagine everything's pretty much like card now.
Most is, but they still happen. You still got to cash out, and when you switch tills, and when you hit a certain point, up they go.
Send the money.
Yeah.
Love it. All right, so let's maybe take a look at transactions closer to Toronto.
Yeah.
Kind of a little bit more local thing. So all segments. Yeah, sorry.
I was going to say, this is the big one. I think this is the big action that took place, which is the fact that the bump was huge. Yeah, the bump was a double chunk chocolate.
Say that 5 times fast. I think what Joey's trying to say is that all segments saw a huge double chocolate cookie increase. Both month over month and year over year. We're talking 34% in Condoland and 46% in Semi-D World.
Yeah.
That's huge.
Yeah, that's enormous.
Especially condos. They were like the ugly cousin that we've been like avoiding this year.
The amount of bad headlines that hit condos were unbelievable. Mind you, also a lot of those headlines were to do with new construction specifically.
Very true.
But oh my God, it put everybody off of them.
It spilled over to right across the segment. All condos have definitely been impacted when it comes to price. And so when we see a jump of 34%, I'm buzzing.
Again, I think, and as people who've had their boots on the ground with this situation, like these numbers didn't, okay, they're huge numbers, but you felt it.
Yeah.
The month of October, you really felt it. Everybody who was hesitant or really patient, all of a sudden were just like, it's time.
It's happening.
Yeah.
It's coming out of the woodworks. And you did a few condo deals this month as well. So that's like the perfect segue, whereas like the listings that I've had have sold and you've got condo buyers coming back out, still getting really good deals on things.
Yep.
But I think, where the tone of this podcast is going to change is this window of opportunity will be closing.
Right.
Sure, there's always going to be some sort of deal to be had, but I think the massive discounts we've been seeing in months prior, they're starting to dwindle.
Right.
We're not seeing the same amount of.
Yes. And even, I will say, like, even through conversations I've had with listing agents, sellers are starting to get that little perk of confidence.
We could wait it out.
Yes.
Yeah.
So there's that feeling of, the super deals are like the end is not in sight. You're starting to get inklings of people who are getting a little savvy on that in that respect.
Picking up on that. Sellers in specific.
Sellers in particular.
Yeah, and that's crazy because we recorded 1,162 transactions in October, making it the 4th busiest month. So, yeah, okay, would love it to be the 1st busiest month. That would be a really huge indicator. But again, we're not looking, just like the Bank of Canada wanted a soft landing, I think we want a very, like a controlled takeoff. Like you don't want a rocket ship blasting off right away. Small, gentle, slow increases are a healthy thing. And that's what I hope we see for the year ahead.
Yes, I think, so what my theory in this whole thing is that I think once we see stabilization in rates, they're not going to be held pinned down at like nothing %. That's when it's going to be like, okay, people are going to start feeling safe again. It's not going to feel so doomsday. And that's when that it's going to be a slow roll forward. That's my crystal ball.
I like that. Yeah. I think a nice way to sum it up is like, there's still plenty of inventory out there. So you've got options, and there always is a but, that's not going to last forever.
Right.
And so no pressure. I never want to come across as the guy who's like, if you buy today, you've missed your boat. That's not the case. But I definitely think 2025, we're going to see
a change.
A shift in the favor of sellers. They're going to start.
I totally agree.
Having more power.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. And I think there's going to be a handful of the savvy buyers who are going to kind of peek their heads out in the next few months to see what they can accomplish.
You think they're going to get a
double chunk chocolate?
Yeah, I'm trying to read your lips there. I was like, say boom, say boom, say boom. I was like, oh my God, he's doing it. He's doing the boom. The boom. Buyers, you could still get a boom deal. But we'll see how long that lasts.
Yeah.
Let's make a pact that this is the last episode we bring the boom.
We do this?
Yeah. We can have other references, but we won't bring the boom in future market updates. This is a one and done boom episode.
Oh God.
Let's maybe shift to prices.
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah, because that's been an interesting ride as well. So very similar to transactions. We had a very good month. We saw all segments had month over month growth. Townhomes came really close to setting a record for the year. They had their 2nd best month.
Right.
The average price of it was over $1 million.
I've just crossed the line.
Yeah. And there was this one weird month where we were sub 900,000
Yes.
for townhomes. And now we're back up to over $1 million. And that's very interesting because townhomes are now that sweet spot where it's like, okay, need more space than a condo, can't really afford a semi, but the townhome has been that bridge between the two. And so to see that go up leads me to believe that a lot of condo buyers are upsizing.
Can I also add to this and say that there's brand new mortgage rules coming into place, and I have a feeling that's going to affect the townhome. So if you're somebody who's considering it, I'm getting inklings that we're going to start seeing that leave that borderline that it was in for so long.
Yes. You're talking about that now. CMHC will cover you up to 1.5 million.
Yeah, so you can put less than 20% down for anything above a million, but below 1.5.
1.5. Yeah, I think that's coming December 15th ish.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I actually have a closing that was. They asked for a longer closing so they could fall under that program.
Right.
So I think a lot of people are going to start taking advantage of that.
Exactly. Yeah.
And that's going to be really useful for some of our older inventory stocked homes that we have in the city where new buyers want to buy them, but they're not ready to, or they don't have the means to renovate it because they have to put the 20% down.
Right.
This will allow them to put a little bit less down. Yes, their monthlies will be a bit higher, but they've got that cash to renovate the properties.
Right. And the funny thing about CMHC actually even saying this, their monthlies might be a little bit higher, but you can actually get a better interest rate if you're in CMHC, which is really awkwardly.
Never understood that.
Yeah.
Put less down, get a better rate. Be responsible, put a big chunk down, pay more.
Yeah.
I don't know. No boom. That's a doom.
That's a doom.
Doom. Big doom. Big doom. Detached homes also had quite the month.
Yeah.
The average price is 1.778. So we're almost pushing 1.8 million for a detached house.
Unreal. Yeah.
Yeah. So, at the top of the show, we said that the average price is 1.1 and change. Yeah, cool. If you want a detached home, you still need a budget of around 1.8 to get that special sweet spot. I will say 1.5 is probably a really good entry level.
Yeah, keep in mind detaches do include things that are like 3 million plus.
Exactly.
That all gets incorporated into one.
Under detached, yeah. So you might not need 1.8 to get an average house. 1.5 is probably a decent budget to start.
Yep.
But they had the third highest month for the year, and going back to January, they're up 13%.
Yeah.
That's good growth.
I mean, yeah, I would say so. That's pretty solid for a 1 year spurt.
Yeah,
100%.
Not even for a 9-10 month.
Or 10 months.
Yeah.
And again, this is 2 consecutive increases in a row, which brings the average price of the total grand scheme of things up to I think we're about April for if you're incorporating everything.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Nice little trend we have going on here.
Yeah. I think there's a trend to start paying attention to.
Yeah. And this is the start. October marks the start of Q4.
Right.
So we've got 2 more quarters to go, and that's going to be really interesting to see how we kind of end the year off. But there's definitely the start of some trends that I think are going to transition into a really good year for sellers next year.
Yep.
And buyers maybe a little bit return to those tough markets where you're competing against others and seeing all that stuff.
Let's hope it doesn't get too fiery, but 100%.
Yeah. Let's let Joey shine with some
months of
inventory. I almost dropped a massive.
I was ready for it.
Boom on you. Take it away with months of inventory. Let the people know what they need to hear.
Okay, so months of inventory, again, for those that don't know what it is, if we stop any new inventory from coming to the MLS today, how long would it take to sell out what's currently on the market? 1 to 3 months it's a seller's market, which means more competition and prices go up.
Yep.
4 to 6 months is a balanced market, so just proper negotiations. And then 6+ is a buyer's market, which means prices go down and good deals happen. This was nuts. Was not expecting this. I double checked my numbers because I was like, well, how did we go from these little increments to all of a sudden some
double chocolate cookie, whopping price changes?
So I'm gonna do my tightest inventory awards as I usually do, and I'm gonna note the drastic changes that happened. So first place, as it always does, semis. Semis are going to take first place. It went from 2.9 months of inventory, so we were just kind of cusping at the end of our seller's market. They were the closest to it, back down to 2.1. So quick pullback. And then second place, Towns. Towns was enormous, probably the biggest jump overall. And we saw that also in the prices, which was nuts. So Towns started last month at 4 months of inventory, which was clearly in the balanced market, and now has dropped right back down to 2.7 months of inventory. So the numbers aren't lying across the board.
We're seeing it.
You look like you're about to boom.
I would love to boom this. This seems very boomable.
This is very boomable.
Should we give it a 3, 2, 1?
Yeah.
3, 2, 1.
Boom! Absolutely deserved. Third place, we're going to give to Detached. Detached went down from, again, a double chunk chocolate cookie 4.8 to 3.4 months of inventory.
Love it.
So it came right back down. And then lastly, condos. So condos, again, saw a gigantic drop. It went from 6.8, which was deep into a buyer's market, and pulled right back to 5.1. So we're still there, but that's a big shift backwards. So let's see if this kind of continues to tighten up over time.
I think to put into context, 3 of the 4 segments are in a seller's market.
Yeah.
And the one that was in a buyer's market and has been in there for the last 10 months has now shifted into a balanced market.
Right.
That's pretty big in 1 month
I'd say so.
to see all that change happening.
Yeah. This is that bit of, and again, it's like we're tightening up on inventory of the new listings that are coming because people are getting a little more confident on what's about to come, and people are buying them.
Yeah.
So it's like the lack of transactions that happen, the fact that interest rates are finally becoming, the numbers are starting to make a little more sense again. I think is getting people back into the swing of things.
Confidence. That's the one thing that this market lacked due to many influences such as the media, the markets, the headlines, all these different things.
Yeah.
But there's definitely a renewed sense of hope for a lot of people. Buyers are very happy to be seeing rates come down. And we're not, again, looking for 0.5% interest rates, but I think somewhere between the lows and the highs, the average of that, if we can get around 2.5, I think that's a healthy place. And maybe we kind of teeter-totter between 2.5 and 3% as our mortgage rates, as our average mortgage rates. I think that's a healthy place to be.
Totally agree. Dare I say, is the worst behind us.
I dare you to say it, Joey.
I think I'm gonna.
You know what? I'm gonna double chocolate chunk Costco cookie dare you to say it.
This, I believe, is me saying the worst is officially behind us.
I'm going to give you a boom. It is 100%.
I think so.
I back that. I agree with you wholeheartedly.
Yeah.
Barring any major catastrophe or some wild former TV show person becoming president and cutting rates to astronomically low levels, which, spoiler alert, might happen. I think the worst is behind us and we are going to see a decent 2025.
Yeah, I totally agree. I don't think we're going to see these gigantic swings, but I think we're going to start to see the better half of what we just experienced.
I like that.
Yeah.
Any shout outs?
Shout out Big Justice.
Big Justice.
Big Justice and AJ and the Rizzler.
Shout out to Black Panther, aka the Riz. Can you do a Riz face?
What does he do?
No, I mean,
is this something like that?
He gave a step-by-step to Fallon on how to do it. Fallon was not impressed, but you basically just, you want to tune into YouTube because I'm rizzing Joy right now big time and it's working.
I'll tell you, I feel it.
It's working. I'm wearing my Duffield Devils jersey.
Yeah, I did. Yeah.
So I want to shout out the Duffield Devils. Shout out Matias Zito and his 8-year-old gang of really good hockey players.
Love it.
They're doing good. The season's off to a good start.
Love it.
So thank you for this beautiful jersey. Happy to be supporting them this year. You and I, Toronto Livings, are supporting the Duffield Devils. So go boys, go.
Yep.
Hope you guys bring home gold for us. And if not, that's okay. Still love you. Just do your best out there. I definitely want to shout out Mars Diner.
Yep.
Because I will be going back.
Please do.
Adriana S. wants a couple's date.
We're 100% in
Molly
those
C.
tables. Absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
All knees will be in.
Knees on knees. Yeah. You want to get to know a person? Go to Mars Diner. I want to shout out Costco.
Yep.
And their double chocolate cookie. I will be going back for more, definitely.
Every time you say it, it has changed and it's killing me.
I'm sorry. It's just that's a phrase I just can't roll off the tongue so easily. It's a tough one. And I'm also going to say shout out Casa Português.
Yes.
The greatest, if I'm saying this correctly, I'm not even going to tell you. I don't know. Whatever that style of chicken is, they do it the best. They're located at 180 Bentworth. We'll have it all in the show notes.
Love it. And Sugo. I'm going to shout out Sugo.
Sugo.
I keep going to it. It's definitely like you sleep afterwards.
Oh, it's
a sleeper.
It's lights out.
And nice time comedy for a good Wednesday night.
I like that.
Go check it out.
Check out the Comedy Bar on Blue Air. If you have any questions about the market, if you're like, hey, maybe we should be kind of having a serious conversation, reach out to us.
Yep.
We'd love to talk to you. We'd love to bring the boom. Maybe we can have a double chocolate cookie and discuss the market and see where things are going.
Yeah. I like that.
How about that?
I like that.
And if you haven't yet, please
like subscribe, comment.
Boom. Enjoy episode 73.
Enjoy.
Thanks for listening to the Toronto Livings Real Estate Podcast. You could find more information on how we work over at torontolivings.com. Be sure to sign up for our newsletter to get price reports from over 150 different neighborhoods in the city each and every month.
If you got any value, please like, subscribe, and share with your friends. And if you made it this far, thanks for listening.